Hi guys, it has been a really long time since I last posted a video. It's been like 10 months. It's been like all of 2025. And I will start off first of all with a huge apology for all my beautiful subscribers. I've got 64 to date. So thank you for being so patient. I was honestly expecting somewhere along the line that these numbers would drop, and you have just waited patiently, and I thank you so much for that. It has been one terror of a year for me this year, and in typical ADHD style, one thing that was new to my life was working on my YouTube channel, and that, of course, was the first thing to just fall off the radar, fall off the list of things to do and enjoy. Yes, so this video is not on a given topic about living with ADHD at all. In this video, it's more of a, I guess, a personal update and what I'd like to share with you guys. So it's been an interesting year. So this year started off with unfortunately my sister has been dealing with health issues, and she was in and out of hospital the first few months of the year, and I was helping out with a lot of that. She doesn't drive, so and of course anyone needs support during times like these, right? She's a beautiful mama to my gorgeous little nephew who's was at that time turning 1. So amidst all the chaos, she managed to celebrate his first birthday. I came down sick on the day of his birthday or something. Maybe my daughter came down sick. I don't even remember. It's been such a blur of a year, and I wasn't even able to make it to my little nephew's birthday. I have another little nephew who recently also turned 1, and we couldn't make it to his birthday either. By now, by this time of the year, I've started to really have to pick and choose what I commit to. Anyhow, I don't want to focus too much on the chaos, but that's how the year started off for me, just being of support to my sister. Somewhere along the line, my marriage went into it became very clear to, I think, both of us that after many, many years of busyness, like chaotic busyness, running a business from home, schooling our daughter from home, homeschooling, and I've always sort of given a lot of my time and mental energy to helping out various members of my family over the years, and just general busyness. Our daughter was committed to lots and lots of activities via her homeschooling, and that included not many evenings at home, and all of this just came to a head, I guess, and hubby and I thought that it was time to go our separate ways. I have good news on the other side of that, because once again we've had these moments throughout our 24-year marriage. Now we've had these moments where we come to a head and go, right, we've got to go our separate ways. And through the heartache, each time we've managed to come back together. It seemed so real and so final to me. I was like looking for a place to live in and everything. So in the midst of the heartache, we decided that we had to give marriage counseling a go. This time we were like, if nothing else, let's just do this and see what happens. It was like just our final straw. It's so funny because just before that happened, I posted a video actually about reflection on how marriage works, because how you just need to just stick to it and remember why you got together in the first place, remember why you love each other. And then honestly, maybe about a week after I posted that video, we had this big blowout. And we've been blessed in that marriage counseling has absolutely been the answer for us. And I highly, highly recommend it, especially counselors that use what's called the Gottman Institute Method. It's so good because it's such a methodical approach to counseling. If hubby and I have anything in common, it's that. We approach things in a logical and with a real problem-solving mind, and that method has worked wonders for us. So if you're in that position, please reach out, because it's done absolute wonders for us, and we're getting to know each other all over again in our 40s, and that's been really interesting. So that happened after sort of supporting my sister through hospitalizations, and our marriage was seriously on the rocks. I'm looking for places to move into and all of that. We start the counseling process. In the midst of that, our daughter had a milestone birthday, which meant for us to organize a really big celebration. And for her, despite our heartbreak and chaos behind the scenes, and then my daughter decided that she wanted to move on from homeschooling and start going to school. Actually went through the application process, but they seemed to look down on the fact that we had homeschooled for most of her schooling, and it became very clear once we met with them for an interview, and it was all very polite and all very lovely and all very na. Oh yes, our children are angels, they said about their school. Our children are all angels. I'm sorry for sounding a bit what did you say, a bit corny, but we believe that we have a piece of heaven on earth here at our school. And I'm thinking, no, you don't. Like, come on. I wasn't born yesterday. Anyway, that aside, they did seem to ask some questions that were completely left of field for a school interview, and they were generally to do with just how would my daughter be able to translate her homeschool experience into a rigid school routine. And I was like, to start with, let's just start there. Do you not know how resilient kids are? And do you not know how independent homeschoolers become from very early on, opposite to what most people think? Homeschoolers are actually very independent, and I knew full well that my daughter was going to be just fine. Anyway, in the end, we walked away from the interview, and I thought, I just can't. This whole, at this point, we are seeing some values clashing. I want my daughter to go to a school where she is believed in, where she is going to be encouraged because they believe in her. So I said, darling, we're not going to go ahead. So we said, how about we homeschool for one more year? We planned really well in choosing another school, because that school that we applied for was, like, in my mind, the best school ever. Like, it is a reality that the phase of teenagehood requires, it's not just it's not just a would like to have. It absolutely requires peer interaction. And we missed the boat within the homeschooling community in establishing a really good community of kids that were going to grow up together. The reason for that was we had our various groups that we were meeting up with when she was about 9 and 10 years old. And then COVID lockdowns happened. And we found a new routine with sort of fewer people in our lives. And even once everything opened up again, my daughter was really quite happy with her newfound routine, just going to her different activities. Because we were blessed in that our activities didn't stop through lockdowns, because we were able to continue a lot of them with just, I think 2 to 3 people were allowed to gather during that time, and we were still able to do that with our activities. And once everything opened up, I didn't need to change anything for her, and she didn't want to change anything. But see, she was still young enough. And then it's gotten to the point where she's hit teenage years and realized that she wants to be able to see her friends more often. And she said, I've decided I want to go to school like ASAP. She said, I think that would be the best thing for me. So I said, all right, let's do it. And let's not even worry about which school. Let's just apply to the local school. We are very blessed with our local school. It has a really amazing reputation. And I've only ever heard people speak highly of it. So off we went to have a walk through the school grounds. Homeschool mama here, I'm like, let's go do this. Let's go explore. Let's go discover, find out. Let's just walk through the school grounds without letting anybody know. So off we went. And so that has been the last few months of getting into a whole new routine for me. I have definitely myself felt very, very lost at times, not knowing who I am anymore. I think that maybe empty nesters would go through that process. And I had to go through it this time. And I've finally come through that and found myself again, and I'm doing well. And that's not to say that I haven't kept busy with things, because I am still a casual support worker, and I still do the admin for our business. And other than that, I've been on a self journey in a way, trying to work out what life should look like on this end, and just being housewife, looking after my home, and still being there a lot for my daughter. Yeah, she's thriving. She's absolutely thriving. She's happy. She's got a big group of friends. It was funny because we tried to warn her that she may not end up with a big group of friends, because hubby and I weren't group people in our respective high schools. He was one of 3 in his little group, and I was one of 3 in my little group. So we said to her, you may not get a big group of friends. Just keep in mind that one really good friend is all you need. But no, she has found, I guess she is a bit more social than hubby and I are, and she's doing really well, and I'm really happy for her. Yeah, so that's the big life update, and thank you for listening, and I hope to come back. It might not look the way I was doing it. I was doing a lot of videos on living with ADHD. I feel like that topic has coincidentally come to an end for me. Like, I don't know how much more I could share on that, but I think because I do live with ADHD, everything that I share from here on will be touching on it anyway. So yes, I have some thoughts of what I'd like to share. I think I'd like to share a lot about the homeschool experience, Whether that becomes its own channel, I don't know. But I'd also like to share some of my own interests. I have a real interest in personal finance, and that's a topic that I'd like to chat about. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. Thanks, guys, and have an awesome day. Bye.